through this. Yeah, I think so. Oh, we're live. Hi. Oh my goodness. Ooh.
So profesh.
Super professional. It wouldn't let us preview the stream in advance. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, none of you are probably here this morning for this, which is actually fun.
What's happening?
We're just not very centered. I think that you have to come my way a little bit. I set this all up, but I had to do it blind, everyone. So I was not very certain how I had framed this, which was not great. Good morning, Val. Huh. Oh, sorry. We're using this for the first time. Can you go away? Why is there no...
It's okay. It'll always appear.
Okay. Good morning, friends. It's so good to see all of you. We're back live for the first time in forever.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And we're in a different location.
Yes.
In the shop.
Yes. Well, and soon the shop will be even more beautiful because the quilts that our friend Naomi is lending us are going to finally get hung, hopefully this week, which is super exciting. I can't wait to see them up.
Yes.
I'm going to bring the steamer in so that we can steam them before we put them up this week. And then, yeah. So
even more color.
So much more color, which is kind of the whole point. So I'm a little warm, which is a rare occurrence because I just finished working out and it's cold in here for me, but I'm physically warm, which is a weird experience.
I'm just warm from like existing.
Right. That thing where other people's, I know I do have bare arms. It's because I just came from the gym. So I was just upside down for a solid, like, I don't know, 20 minutes on my hands doing wall walks. It's a good time. So we are here to give you guys some updates and news. So weirdly, our year doesn't start in January. Our year starts in February.
Yes.
So Get Flocked has a strange year because of how we've set up something. And we wanted to talk to you about what is up and coming this year, give you guys some heads up for our knit-alongs, our kind of loose structure for the year that might change at any time. We're going to announce the theme for the Flock Online this year, which Emily and I had a really great planning session over dinner the other night.
Yes.
And I feel like we've really nailed it.
I was trying to get dressed this morning and looking in my wardrobe and I was like, that's perfect for that month. That's perfect for that month. Like, I'm good to go. I'm ready.
I'm not. Because lately I've been like, I'm looking at my like bag of clothes with me because I was going to completely change after the gym and then didn't because I'm leaving as soon as this podcast is done. I might actually take this hat off because it's just not sitting on my head properly because of the amount of sweat. Here we go. God, my forehead is large. Is it always that big?
I feel like we're still on like a bit of an angle, like
there's definitely like an angular
on there than it does in person.
There's an angular issue here. We are going to work on this. I think we might start doing a live every so often again, not all the time. Also because the construction situation across the street that we keep being like, surely now they've reached the point where it's going to get better. It actually just kind of keeps getting worse. So
yesterday there was a steamroller.
Of course
and
there was.
And it made like everything shake. It was fun.
Yeah. So we are just having some tricky situations figuring out when to film because I keep thinking like, surely they're construction workers by 5, they'll have stopped working. But these are apparently very dedicated construction workers and they work till 6 or 7. I mean, good for them. Super proud of them. Not only do I have bare arms, I also forget how tattooed I am all the time because I can't see this one unless it's on camera, which is quite funny.
I thought it was amusing. I was looking at one of Alicia Plummer's new patterns and she's like, or it was on her Instagram or something, and she was like, and look, you can scrunch up the sleeves so that you can be like, look at my new tattoo.
Story of our life. We love Alicia Plummer.
Yes.
So let's work backwards with what we know for sure is coming up, okay? We have a beautiful set of opportunities this year to come together and do some awesome stuff. And I think it's going to be really, really fun. And I can't wait to share all of this with you and do it all together. So we're going to work backwards from Flocktober is my plan. Because Flocktober is planned. We're well underway with events. Emily has been working her ass off. Getting things already coordinated. There are at least 2 events that are pretty much good to go. already, and it's going to be super, super fun. So we're going to be running that same Flocktober 30-day knit along, and this year, the one thing that we're going to tell you in advance is about the mystery knit along. So we're just going to tell you up front right now that you can do any Stephen West mystery knit along shawl from any era. So it doesn't have to be the current one. You can do a previous one. You can do, well, I guess those are the choices. You can do the current one or the previous ones. The good news is we have samples of almost every West Knits mystery knit along, except for some of the truly cursed ones, like Texture Time and
the body pat resembling one. That's
Texture Time.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have Texture Time and we don't have Speckle and Pop because I can't bring myself to knit Speckle and Pop. It's a journey. It takes a 3 skein fade in like 12 mini skeins and like, woo. Yes, Mom, you'll be able to do one of those. We'll set you up with Earth and Sky. It's the most accessible. We also don't have one of the doodler because I personally just, I find putting colors together for the doodler very difficult because if done wrong, it can look a little bit like a whale penis.
That's not what you want.
That's how someone described it to me once, and I can't unsee it. I am also going to include, and I will be making this, some of the West Knits mystery knit alongs are not particularly beginner friendly. So we are going to include a trio, so 3 beginner friendly West Knit shawls as well. So Dotted Rays, which comes in multiple versions, is going to be in there. Vertices Unite, because he's actually updating it so that it's easier to knit.
And making the teeny tiny.
Yeah, and I thought it would be fun because then people could do test shawls in advance. So Dotted Rays, Vertices Unite, and I actually haven't picked the third one because he has done too many shawls. I am leaning towards Clockwork, which is one of my favorite Stephen West shawls of all time. It's very old. It's garter stitch with 3 slip stitches. So you knit garter stitch stripes and then you slip 3 stitches. But it's a really great way to make something that's Stephen West without having to feel intimidated by brioche or mysterious instructions or needing all those videos. So we want to make sure this year that Flocktober is a chance for everybody to celebrate what they're doing. Right?
Yeah.
Right. Oh, no,
And there's going to be some.
Just random thumbs down. Thumbs down.
No.
Does this work too? Does it do a thumbs up? Oh, well, we'll find out later. Now, what else have we got going on?
The blanket.
Yes. So we are getting ready to start launching the information. So we're going to do the beginning of this in March, probably with a cast on in May, just due to arrival times. And we're going to be doing a year-long slipstitch extravaganza knit along. Now, you can theoretically double dip and you can do slipstitch extravaganza, the shawl, as your mystery knit along for Flocktober, but we're running a year-long knit along so that we have a chance to make some blankets. And I love the slipstitch extravaganza blanket, and I desperately want to make one. And
what weight is it?
DK, which is really exciting because we have some of the most amazing DK weight yarn in solid colors already.
Yes.
Plus, we have beautiful hand-dyed DK options from our awesome friend Rebecca, who is Kiwi Yarna. And we are definitely going to be doing some Kiwi Yarna kits, some Wild Earth kits, some Vespers kits, and some Hedgehog Fiber pre-orders. So the Hedgehog Fiber kits are going to be a pre-order for, I've designed the colorways. We'll be putting them out and getting those photos ready to go. So hopefully this will be ready for the first week of March so that we can get the pre-orders in, and then we'll start sending out the kits as they arrive. And once you've got your kit, you're welcome to start. So if you're choosing the shawl or the blanket, the shawl comes in 2 sizes, but you need the same amount of yarn. You just end up with leftovers if you make the small one. The blanket also comes in 2 sizes, but essentially we're selling the large kits because if you choose to stop earlier, you'll just have some beautiful yarn selections for color work left over, and you might feel inspired to go all the way to king size with me.
Is it a, I'm sorry, I probably should know these things. Is it a rectangle? Is it a circle?
It is a circle. So the blanket is knit entirely in the round, so there's no wrong side rows. And the deadline for this is going to be the end of 2024, which we usually refer to as December 31st. This is our new tradition, is every year we're going to remind you that throughout the year that when we say the end of the year, we mean December 31st. This is a joke entirely for Emily and I.
Yeah.
And Sometimes we need to laugh so we don't cry.
We want to be very clear.
December 31st. So we as well, another month-long event that is going to be happening.
Yes.
Knit Fast, Die Warm. So Knit Fast, Die Warm is coming up. That is the celebration of all things that are about me.
Yeah,
as opposed to
you.
as opposed to everything else that we do in this business that is not about me. We're going to celebrate the wonder that is Ethan for 30 days. So every year I knit myself a jumper for my birthday. It's actually like a thing. And I've been doing it, I think, for 9 years now. The first one I knit myself was Timberline, which my brother now has, because I knit it out of basically carpet yarn because it's Briggs and Little. But at the time, it was a Canadian mill. I lived in Canada. I was trying to support local fiber. That's not obvious. That's a big passion of mine, is supporting local fiber. So it was a really great opportunity to make that. But this year, Knit Fast, Die Warm is a month-long adventure to knit a sweater.
And there's 3 categories.
Yes.
Knit flat, knit in the round.
That's right.
And knit Ethan. Or one of his patterns.
Make one of my patterns. And I'm expanding my pattern range as fast as I physically can knit and edit and have it test knit, although sometimes I kind of skip part of that phase. Sorry, everyone. And as fast as poor Emily can sit there and put it into the world's most reasonable layout. So, but we're getting there. We have more patterns for that coming. So that's a month-long chance to knit a jumper. And we really wanted to highlight the fact that you can knit a jumper flat in less than a month and seam it, and you're going to love it. I just did it in 8 days on a 4.5 millimeter needle. It was super fun. It's actually one of the patterns that's going to be featured because I have a new pattern that's going to be out for testing really, really shortly. I've actually decided to break with my normal nomenclature system and name it after somewhere that I regularly go. Well, okay. So Knit Fast, Die Warm is the final planned knit along, okay? Then we also have, before we go into what we've been knitting and we tell you about the theme, we also have our Galentine's Day celebration coming up. This is going to be an annual event to celebrate the wonder of all of our friendships and the joy together. And look, some of our knitting men are also Galentines, so don't feel like this is a gender exclusive event. Come and hang out, be yourself.
Well, we could be Palentines.
We could be, but I love Galentine's Day because I love Leslie Knope. And one day I hope to rise to the point where I make embroidered pillows for all of my friends. Today is not that day, but one day I will, how does it go? Friends, waffles.
Little Sebastian.
Little Sebastian. We love little Sebastian. So Galentine's Day is coming up. That's the wrap up for our currently running knit-alongs, which are Pink Fizz, which some really beautiful Pink Fizzes are underway. Beatty has been killing hers. Yeah, the blue fizzes. And we are just super excited. Mary has a gorgeous one in DK Weight on the go
and it looks different, but in a good way. Like it looks real squishy and cozy.
It's breathtaking. Andrea's patterns do really suit experimentation. So when we do an Andrea Mowry knit along, we always want you guys to feel invited in. And I made some great notes on how to knit it flat, how to do yarn substitutions, all on the Flock online. So Galentine's Day here, starting at 6 p.m., but you'll all start showing up at 4, which is great. And we are running. We will be ready. And we are going to be running our Galentine's Day celebration all Valentine's Day. So come hang out with us, have a little bit of a party, show off your new knits or your old knits. Don't knit anything, wear any knit that you've made that you really, really love. It doesn't have to be from the most recent knit along. We want to just see what you guys have made that you love. And it's just another chance to get together. Yeah. We do also, in May, have something very fun coming up that I think we're going to start publicizing in the next.
At 11, when is 9 a.m. Australian time here? It depends what state, doesn't it? I don't know.
It does.
In the next couple of hours.
Yes.
There'll be stuff.
Yeah. So we have another event in May coming that we are super excited about that involves someone and something in 2 days.
And knitting.
Yeah. So we just have I just realized we have a year planned, and it is going to be super awesome. So during the month of Flocktober, don't forget, there are events every single Saturday. It's not an accident. And so you can spend your whole month with us, and you should, because what else are you doing? Where this is the hottest ticket in Christchurch. So do plan to take all of October off. You're busy. Use all of your annual leave, and remind your friends and family that you're not available unless they also knit, and then they can come too. So with all of that said,
yes. No.
Yes, no, we should reveal the theme for the year. And I did not dress thematically.
Neither did I.
At all.
Although I do have.
I dressed for comfort.
Cats.
I mean, don't you always though?
I mean, how will people know that I love cats if I'm not always wearing cats?
It's a really good question. I have no good answer for that. So this year in the Flock Online, last year, we explored the wonderful world of Cable Cove with our good friend, Jessie. And that was an experience. But this year, you're going to be greeted by a different new character, the narrator, who is going to be there to tell you a beautiful story every single month. And this year, how did we decide to phrase this? Thank you. Thank God. This year, we are doing... Do you want to announce it since you remembered and I didn't? I almost said the old one. We've changed the theme name for this, and I just was about to say the old one. I was like, that's not correct. I'm just going to check with my coworker here.
Knitting Fables.
Knitting Fables. So it is going to be a year of ancient stories and, myths and wonders. And we're going to dispel a lot of myths and invite you to see a lot of wonders in the knitting world. And a lot of wigs. So
first one's already lined up.
Yeah, we are ready.
And it's a top-notch, high quality, beautiful specimen.
So if you're ready for a lot of laughs and a little bit of the two of us being our kookiest selves, please come join us in the Flock Online. And it's going to spill over onto this as well. So just embrace it.
And maybe even Windows.
I hope Windows.
Yeah.
I felt like I wanted to talk to you about that today. So I'm really glad that you're already there.
Yeah.
Perfect. Because it just gave us such a great monthly theme for the window as well.
Yes.
So Knitting Fables, we're going to dispel myths, show you new things, and open up new horizons for you with our knitting this year. And I think that this is going to be our best collaboration yet. Yeah.
I'm excited.
So that's the year. That's what's happening. I've been a little quiet on the Flock Online this week because we've been dealing with 7,000 other things in the background because this is a business of many moving parts at all times.
Have you ever played Beat Saber?
No.
So we got a VR set for Christmas, and it's like you're in this thing and there's stuff flying at you and you have like lightsabers. I feel like that's this.
Yeah, that has been this last week.
And you have to like do things in different directions and duck and dive and...
Yeah, it's been a little bit like Dance Dance Revolution is what it felt like this week. Like, oh, there's too many arrows. I can't step on all of those at once. I only have 2 legs. But we did it.
Yeah.
And we are ready for you. Now, so that is our exciting announcement for today. We will most likely have an exciting announcement for next week as well, which is super cool.
Are we talking?
I think we should talk about our projects. Yeah. So, Emily, what are you working on?
I am working on Pressed Flowers,
which
is the other half of our knit along. And Amy Christophers, who's the designer, just released a new Pressed Flowers.
A vest,
which I believe is the DK weight as well. So if you haven't started yet, but want to get going.
Oh my God, girl, look at you go.
Yes. So I finished the body and I've done this much of a sleeve, which feels like it's taking ages, but I just am trying to get through.
Yeah.
And then it's just the other sleeve and the band.
You've got this.
Yeah.
Don't let Sleeve Island fool you. The sleeves go faster than you think.
Yes. It's just, in my head, I was like, I think I see other people who do it really fast. So I'm like, oh, I can do it in a weekend. Especially not a 30-degree weekend.
Right.
With like other life things.
I mean, yeah, there's a child and a husband and a cat.
Chaotic crochet also.
Chaotic crochet is the theme of my life. It haunts me everywhere I go. Woo!
And I did a bit of DIY.
Oh, amazing. What did you
What do you-
DIY?
Oh, the sign.
Oh, the sign,
I
which
got
is
some power tools out.
yes.
I only got one blood blister.
Did you put on like a cute Rosie the Riveter's themed skirt while you did your DIY? I'm disappointed. And I feel like I'm allowed to be.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Is that everything? That's pretty much everything you
pretty
have on
much
the
it.
needles.
Yeah.
You've been so monogamous.
I know. I really love this and I can't wait to have it finished.
I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
Well, I am making a double knit button band.
It's a very pretty double knit button band.
It is. I've just accidentally put it off for a long time, and it's literally the only thing left on this garment.
Oh, you're using DPNs.
Yes, I almost always knit my double knit button bands on DPNs. I have a full set of DPNs because I knit a lot of double knit button bands. So I own a full set of
Because
DPNs.
it's like little and it's easier than dealing with cables.
Yeah, it's just less frustrating than dealing with cables, especially when you're dealing with like a 3mm and it's only a 22 stitch button band. So it's so narrow that you're turning the work so often that the cables just kind of get in the way.
Yeah.
So this is my double knit button band for my upcoming high street cardigan pattern, which has done pretty well in testing. And yeah, so I'm about there on it. And I have to go all the way around.
And then back. And then
Yeah, it's only going to take like, honestly, the rest of the day if I actually sit and knit on it. It doesn't take long. It's just double knitting it's not hard and it's not even very tedious. You just kind of have to look at it because it's slip one, knit one the entire time. And so it's kind of great. I got about 60 rows sitting at the doctor's office yesterday done because it turns out doctor's offices in New Zealand are never on time. Not even slightly on time.
Not even if you're the first appointment.
It was a magical experience. I was like, and they were like, and we're running about 2 hours behind. And I was like,
Awesome.
oh, okay, great. Thank you for the update before I came here. So that is my double knit button band. It is in Puppy Love, in a yarn base that I really, really love. But I think we're going to be focusing on some other things before we start bringing this in, just because she's a little floofy. And it's a little, I think it's, if I'm being honest, it's so soft and so fluffy already that I just know it's going to pill, which is the price you pay for super, super soft processed yarn. Like this is relatively processed. So that's totally normal and expected. That's how yarn works.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I'll be very honest. I don't know how many messages I can handle where people are like, oh, but it pilled. Because I've lived this life for a long time, guys.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah. Anyway, but I did also knit something very quickly, which is another thing that has to go out for testing. So this is going to be going out for testing sooner rather than later. So this is my new pattern that is going to be going out. If you're on the Flock Online, or if you want to test this and you're not on the Flock Online, please let me know. It is knit flat, fully seamed, and I'm just going to start putting out some caveats. If you're test knitting for me, please note this begins with tubular cast-ons. Also, the collar is knit separately and seamed on in 2 pieces that are joined by using a 2-stitch I-cord and seaming it together.
This bit?
Yeah. Then you have to sew the collar using backstitch down to the inside neck, and all of the other edges do have to be seamed. There's no picking up on this. And I really, really, really love it.
I really like the neck.
Thank you. So what happened was I have a set of patterns designed with a high crew neck called the New Regent Street Trio. And I got literally this far into this, and my whole mind about what I was making changed. I'm going to just pop it on quickly because I think it really does deserve to be seen on a human. Although it would look really cute on a very large dog as well. Does anyone have an Akita that I can dress in this jumper?
I mean, yes. Not me, but
yeah.
That's very cool.
So I was aiming for something semi old school, and I was really inspired by kind of photos of people in the 60s and 70s in skiing. That's actually what happened. Is I was looking at photos of people skiing in the 60s and 70s and like hanging out in the chalets, and I saw a lot of men with these sorts of collars, and then I saw a couple of women wearing what were clearly like men's proportioned jumpers.
Mm-hmm.
And they just looked really like casual but elegant, and everyone was in soft grays and cream. And so I just decided that that's what I wanted to make halfway through making something else. And so I had to figure out how to do it, which is like actually kind of challenging. So this neckline, it turns out, is very common in commercially produced knits and not at all common in hand knits. And I don't know why, because it actually was very easy to knit. So each collar took about 3 hours to knit, like each collar section.
Like short rows?
No, increases. Very sneaky increases. So what I've done is I've used an invisible increase to do the knit stitch increase. So I'm increasing knit stitch to knit stitch using an invisible increase. Then once they've separated just enough that there's a purl stitch available, a bar between them, then I'm doing a make one right or a make one left, but on the wrong side of the work, so that it expresses the purl stitch on the right side, which hides that ugly increase on the right side, on the wrong side, which gets folded underneath. But you only seam the back collar for the literal back portion, and then it just pulls the front edges inwards, which is really, really cool. And it holds them in place like that. I will say sewing this portion down is not necessarily, I found it very straightforward, but I'm actually immediately starting a second one because I'm going to have to make a video of how you do it. I've realized, because you have to sew it in a specific, you have to knit this in a specific order and sew this in a specific order, which is a little bit of a weird experience because everything changes when you put the collar in.
Yes.
So you have to make the whole body, seam the body, knit the collar, put the collar in, and then measure your sleeve length, or there's no way it's going to be right. Because it's going to sit, regardless of how you measure your bust for this garment, it's quite oversized intentionally. So there's roughly, well, on me, at my fullest point of my bust, there's 21 centimeters of ease. But because the fullest part of my bust is a very small portion of my body, it ends right here and it starts right here. It's it's very relaxed and chill. I'm super into it. So this is the Snowden pullover. Which is named after a magical place that I sometimes escape to with my very wonderful friend BB, my not mother, and where we hang out and spend some time with other crafters. And it just felt like the perfect name for it, right? Yeah. So everybody meet Snowden, my new pullover, which I'm very excited about. And I can't wait to start sharing it with all of you. I do think it would look extremely polished with a mandarin collar dress shirt underneath with like a single mother of pearl button right there. I just think that would be absolutely perfect. Yeah. So this is the third size, just so everyone's aware. And I'm going to do my traditional thing with the sizing where I explain how large the garment is, but also what the intended bust size was with ease. So if you're looking at it, it's going to say size to fit between this bust size and this bust size for each size. And I've also added 2 sizes to my size range with this pullover, which is quite ambitious. So we've gone to 9 sizes and they are generously oversized. So if you're on the larger end of my size spectrum, so this is such a long, boring conversation about the sweater. I'm so sorry, but I hope it's helpful. If you're watching this and you do want to test, please get in touch. And just note that if you're on the larger end of the size spectrum, usually, if you would normally knit like a 7, 8, or 9 in most patterns, which most patterns tend to have between 9 and 10 sizes, you may find that you want to come down a size or 2 if you do not want an exaggerated amount of ease. The sleeves are also very generous because I think that a generous body deserves a generous sleeve, and I love a wide sleeve. I think that they look really elegant, but also they're incredibly comfortable, and you could literally wear another jumper under this. So that's the best part about it. And so there we go. So that's Snowden. And if you do want to get in touch and test, please send us an email at getflockedknitting@gmail.com and we will get back to you. How long are the sleeves? They're as long as you knit them.
Like full length designed for, right? In theory?
Yes. Oh no, full length. Although actually you can also just pick up and knit a 2. This is actually one way you can pick up and knit. If you wanted to make this sleeveless, you just pick up and knit a 2x2 rib and you do the depth of the cuff, basically.
Mm.
And it creates like a vest instead.
I was just thinking it would be cool as a vest.
Yeah, I think it would be really, really sharp as a vest.
Mm.
I won't make one of those because then my arms will be cold.
Mm.
Can we see the length? Okay. I'm going to stand up. I'm wearing gray sweatpants. So let's just bear in mind what that's going to look like on camera. So that's that's a real tight thing. So that's about the length. It's a standard length or slightly long. It starts at the top of a men's pant pocket, essentially.
Mhm.
Due to the fact that I live in a male body, I know, right? I do tend to make lengths in my patterns suggestions.
Mhm.
They're not hard and fast rules. They're suggestions because I personally require things to be longer. So with all of that, I think we're out of time.
Yeah.
We've got to open up the shop and I have to leave.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Thank you for being with us today. It was actually fun doing a live again.
Yeah.
I forgot how much I like these.
Yeah.
So you're probably going to see some lives and some pre-recorded going forward.
Mhm.
And we just want to say a big thank you to all of you who subscribe to this channel, to everybody who shops with us and comes in. We honestly have a very customer-first mentality at this shop that I think we're really, really proud of.
Mhm.
And we are so excited that all of you are so engaged in a part of our community.
Yes.
And we can't wait to see you online and in store and on Wednesday nights and on Saturdays. And hopefully one day soon, every day forever.
You're
Honestly.
welcome.
So with all of that, have a wonderful rest of your day. We will see you next week. Okay, bye.